G'day mates, and welcome back to Stellaris. This time we're heading into the new Utopia expansion. We're going to be doing a follow-up to my previous Stellaris campaign where I did the Robotic Rampage. This time we're going to be doing Robotic Revival. So I've created a couple of different people playing with the Plantoids, which I recently bought as well. We're going to be playing the Sovereignty of Screk. Let's go in and have a quick look at these guys. They are... Where are we? So that is what we're going to be using. We're going to be using this, I think it was one of my pre-order portraits. I quite like that one there. We're going to be using red lasers, we're going to be using warp travel, and we're going to be using the arthropoid ships because that is what class we come under. Now we're going to be chasing robotics. It's going to be the follow-up to the Robotic Rampage. So Robotic Revival is all about keeping these guys and turning them into machines by the end of it. So to that end they're going to be fanatic materialists, and they are going to be militarists because they will chase that down. The reason for doing that is that they are fleeting and they are very, very weak. My people die young and they're not very strong, but they are intelligent and adaptive, and we're hoping that will allow us to push forward, and I suppose that is the driving factor to turn these guys into robots. They are tired of death. They want to live forever. So with that, let's head on in and choose how we're going to play this one. Now I often like doing massive star systems. I think we're going to bring this one down to a medium size. I think should be sufficient. We're going to begin with 8 empires. Let's go, 2 of them can be advanced starts, and I only want 2 fallen empires. Normally I love having them everywhere, but with a bit smaller, I think having just 2 of them should be sufficient. Habitable worlds, normal, difficulty normal, all this stuff. Actually, let's go back and double check that. Wrong button. These guys, yep, they are forced spawning, so they will be appearing in the game. We'll be able to check them out when we meet them. 822. I think we are going to be looking good. Endgame crises. I'm going to attempt to create the robot crisis if at all possible, although that may not happen. I've never had that happen yet. And advanced neighbors, I don't particularly care. I like them off. They can be wherever they want, scattered in the galaxy. Okay, we're in now. We're going to set ourselves up. Now, of course, I'm sure you all know a little bit about Utopia, so that we can, for example, if you have a look at the tech in here, there is no longer, wrong button, there is no longer any colonization tech. We already have that from the beginning. Oh, kidding me, that's a bit shit. Well, looks like we've only got one thing within our borders to begin with, so not likely to find ourselves with a lot of minerals early on. The game is a little bit slower at the beginning, so that's something to keep in mind. But what we're going to do now is pick our early things. I like lasers to begin with, although I think power plants are probably going to be a big thing if we're going to be building a lot of robots. I think we'll start with power plants. I'll come back to lasers later. Propaganda broadcasts are useful for the influence, or planetary unifications, the tech, but getting the influence is very, very handy. And let's have a quick look at... Let's actually go for some early armor. That may be handy if we encounter anybody early on. While we're here, I think it's worthwhile having a quick look at my... I didn't go through the government. So our government authority is going to be imperial. I just like having, the whole hereditary system. I don't particularly enjoy the elections. They're a bit boring for the most part, and they don't really do anything. We're going to be a mechanist, of course, which is going to show us something interesting. We're going to have a couple of robots already on our planet to begin with, and we can build more right off the bat, as well as having a very small decrease to total running cost. And of course, cutthroat politics is, I think, almost too good to pass up. Gives you an additional influence per month, and over the course of the game, that is thousands and thousands and thousands of points of influence, and I never, or very rarely, max out. So definitely useful stuff, something I will have a lot of use for. Now have a quick peek at our homeworld before we start here, and there we go, there's our 4 robot pops. Now we should be able to build more. Yes, there you go, I can build more as soon as I want. So we are going to have a bit of a head start chasing down our goal. Now early on, I think without a doubt we're going to require another science ship. And that build up, we're going to throw off, just have a quick look at our, wrong button, let's have a quick look at our leaders here. Survey speed. Yeah, that is the right person to go in. Sometimes you can have some interesting lineups here, but nothing particularly important to begin with. So we're going to get you surveying around. You do the whole system. You're probably better starting here at Olympus. And meanwhile, I think we're going to get our dudes here to start exploring around a little bit and see if we can verify that systems are safe. Actually, we know the names. Yeah, I think we'll just verify that everything in this area is safe before we go much further. Now, I enjoy playing at the fastest speed all the time, but I don't know if it's going to be... Yeah, it's going at a good speed. Sometimes it doesn't play quite as well during recordings. Yep. Of course, we'll send out our new... You can recruit and we'll throw in survey speed or research speed. That is really of no point. So we'll grab the survey speed. You'll be doing a lot more surveying. And you, my friend, can probably... Let's jump down here. We might find some energy, something around that star there. Because energy is what we're going to be needing early on because we are using... Okay, beautiful. We're going to be using a hell of a lot of energy maintaining our robots early on. In fact, for the entire game. It's pretty much the limiting factor for me. I think we'll head out west. Hell no, not for 60%. We're going to head out west and we're going to check out what we can find out in this direction. If we can get anything out here, we may be better prepared. I'd like to have a good early start and claim a bit of land. And to that end, I'm going to need a bit of territory. Okay, what did we find? Our home system, not a huge amount, a little bit of energy, a little bit of minerals. That may be handy. That may come in handy early on. I think what we'll do is just build the mining stations for now. And depending on how much spare energy we have, we will... Oh, beautiful. You can... go up this way. We've already got something that we can... Oh, look at that. Beautiful. So what can we colonize here? We are currently desert worlds. I think I forgot to cover that in the start as well, but we have a desert world start, but we also have ocean and tundra we'll not be able to live on. Even if we are adaptable, that's not quite enough. Let me think about this. So if we're in the southeast here, we've got pretty good because we've got our backs up against the wall. That means we've only really got northeast, northwest and west as our sort of main expansion options. No, thank you. Oh, I saw someone over there. Now, hopefully they're not too close to us and we can build up a good little empire. If we can reach in, sort of get that area before we meet anyone, I'll be pretty impressed. I'm probably going to queue you guys up, give you a couple of systems to do. And you get these three over here. These tight ones are good because I'll be able to grab them very easily with a frontier outpost. And that's a Savannah world, but we automated dreadnought. That is not good. That's really not good. Hopefully that won't come our direction. Just have a quick look at that. It's a that's a Leviathan, so that thing will absolutely destroy us. I don't think I've ever fought this particular Leviathan before. But how do we... there we go. I think it's... Nope. There we go, that's the button. I figured out in the end. It is pretty beautiful looking. Check that out. Okay. Anyway, let's go back in and get things under control. So we've got a few potential colonies out here early on that I think we can expand out to. I think I'm going to consider that very early. Colonies, I mean, they're very expensive early on, 350 minerals, well, I could do so much more, but I'm actually not going to expand just yet. We don't have that many minerals, so I would prefer to... Actually, maybe I will. I'm going to see what these guys find. If these guys find something, I will send him out. For the time being, you can grab... That's 2 mining outposts, 180 for a bunch of energy. We will need that. Let's have a quick look at our homeworld while we're here. So minerals, these guys are really good at mining minerals, 10%, and that will just improve over time. But they're rubbish at anything else. Food, they're acceptable at. So yeah, I think I will use them for anything there that I need to find. Now, we're actually in the Deneb system. I've never used the Deneb system before. I just want to have a look at it. It's a pretty crappy looking system, to be honest. I think I should have picked Sol. I quite like Sol. Sol or a random one. These really have nothing at all in them. Yep, this is a pretty shit little system. No problem though. What have we got over here? Go for it, 10% is worth it. That one is very, very nice. If that's also good, then I think I'll throw a frontier outpost in there. Now we're meeting a couple of guys out here. Alien vessels. They are probably... I didn't get a chance to look at them, but they are probably just native neutrals that are running around defending the area, so I'm not bothered with them just yet. Looks like we haven't met anyone out to the west. So... the First League. Okay, I don't think I've ever seen this one before. I normally get the Cybrex or the Iranian or whatever. That is kind of cool. Let's have a quick look, see what we've got here. Nothing. I just got to keep finding them over time. You, though, I think we're going to send you to go check out this direction up here, because that looks like where we're probably going to expand the first time. If we can get a whole bunch of these under our belt, I think I'll be pretty happy, especially if the worlds are there good. These worlds may be useful, especially because we've got the option to colonize them. But for now, I think we're probably going to...
System survey complete. Anomaly found.
I don't want to commit to anything until we've got something a bit better. Early on, I'm thinking Discovery is probably the way to go here. So this, in case you are not aware, this is the new Utopia Traditions menu. So it's a little bit like Civ 5 getting different perks. You have to get them all by the end of the game. There's no real way to choose that. I should have probably put in a mod. I may do that in another playthrough in the future, but there was a mod that I've got that adds a whole bunch extra onto these. What do we want? What do we want? Diplomacy is crap. Harmony is actually pretty useful. It's 10% happiness across the board, cuts down consumer good usage by the end, and lifespan, that's not so useful. Paradise Dome is very nice, a bit of food and a whole bunch of happiness, and good defensive wars. I think we're going to go Discovery to begin with. It'll make things cheaper early on, and we'll probably follow it up with Prosperity, but it'll make things cheaper early on, and it allows us to... where is it? Anomalies are better, and we gain, when we're researching, and when we're surveying, we gain... I don't know, I actually might go Prosperity. Ship upkeep. Yeah, I don't particularly like these. Expansion can be handy early on. Tradition cost. Pop growth time. Actually, that one there. Frontier outposts, and then upkeep reduced by 50%. I do like that. I think I'm actually going to go with expansion early on. I was almost certainly going to go for Discovery, but I've decided to change that to expansion, and we will grab these two early on. That'll be very, very handy. So far, we haven't found anything definitive. I'm still saving up the minerals. When I get to 350, I think I will just have a quick look at the penal colony. Requires skill 4. That's quite some time off. Now we're going to struggle with some of these higher ones because our people will die very, very early on. So worthwhile, I think. Nothing important. Worthwhile, I think. Beelining towards longer life expectancy as quick as we can. Delta Aliens, home. Okay, there we go. That is one of our people. I tend to name them home just so I can find out where my people are. So that'll be one of my created. Yes, one of my created people. They've got a nice big juicy looking system. Now those guys are, I forget which ones they are, but it will be worthwhile finding out about them. What am I researching here? 3 months. I think I'll wait for that before I start researching them, just because the... Okay, we're going to need to take this as soon as we can. These guys are going to probably have a nice big juicy border, and I don't want them to get that there. Wonder if we can get that as well. Yeah. What do I want here? Growth time would be handy. Terraforming is not that useful. And I'll come back to it later. I think we're going to go growth time early on. Biological advancement. Administrative path. We're going to go growth time. It's not going to make a difference though just yet, because we're going to try and find out where these guys are, get in contact with them, and see if we can keep them on side. Now we've got pretty good tech. I think I'm going to wait. I'm going to send you back home. I'm going to save up enough cash to go for it, take the risk. Once this guy gets built, then I'm going to get and grab that final engineering station. Pretty handy early on. Okay, one colony ship and then we'll be good. Alien writing, that's kind of cool. 3 society research, nothing to sniff at, especially this early in the game. I require Epsilon aliens, don't care about them. Just have a quick look at them, actually. They... bird people of some sort, avians. What do we need? It's too high a risk. The Conclave, that's who they are. Okay, these guys are authority. They are nearly the opposite to us. They are fanatic spiritualists and they're xenophobes. Oh shit, I really screwed myself up here. Our warriors salute you. I don't think that makes any difference. Okay, these guys are not good. They are not going to be our friends. Xenophobia, materialist fools, and infidel unbelievers. We're stuffed if we go to war. So early on, we will need to take them out. So, to that end, I'm going to want... what world type do they use? I can't see. Yes, I can. Alpine. Okay, they're Alpine worlds. So they're not going to be taking any of these. They will be... Yep, they've got a couple of good worlds nearby as well. So we're going to have to take what we can and wrap around them and take them down. So to that end, I think... I don't particularly care about that, but I'll throw them on. These missions do get a little bit boring after a while, but I suppose it's better than some of the alternatives.
Research complete.
Search as well. What have we got here? Power plants. I'm going to need a solar panel. Oh, I want that as well. I'm going to need a solar panel network though for the energy. Energy is going to be absolutely vitally important. And we need to take these guys down, or we need to be friends with them. We can't be friends with them. So we need to prepare. How are we going to do this one? I'm actually going to get you down this direction to try and find ourselves an expansion route away from the xenophobic spiritualists up there. We're going to require a couple of corvettes to expand our military here. Get these guys at least terrified, or at least on par in terms of fleet power. I don't want to be knocked too far behind. But you know what? That I think is where we're going to leave this one. We'll call this episode here. We're going to head off and who knows what we're going to find over there. But I'm going to get this all sorted. This is the first episode of a brand new series. So Stellaris Robotic Revival. Make sure to smash that thumbs up button if you do indeed enjoy that content. Love me some Stellaris content every now and then. If you don't enjoy it, of course, thumbs down button there and waiting. But at least drop a comment. Let me know how I can improve. And if you've got any advice on how to take on the Conclave here, by all means, get those keyboards working. See you around, guys. Take care.